Welcome to On the Line. I'm Jenny Robb with USTA Alabama, and we are celebrating Tennis Month, and I'm excited to introduce James Giles. He is a native of Birmingham, Alabama, and James, we're so excited to have you here today. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so you have been doing some pretty cool stuff at school. I saw where first you were named Student of the Month not too long ago. So that's pretty exciting. Did you know that was coming, or were you surprised?
I was kind of surprised because, to be honest, like during the time in the first 9 weeks when I had all A's, I was kind of like I wasn't really struggling, but there was some times where I was kind of down a little bit. It was really because my Wi-Fi, like since all of us were at home and stuff, the Wi-Fi is not working that well. I wanted to get assignments turned in on time.
Mhm.
And there's sometimes where there's assignments that are easy and it shouldn't take me like it should only take me like 15 minutes and it takes me an hour because the thing keeps on freezing. But
Yeah.
I was able to get through that. And during the 2020 year, I also went through a lot. I had 4 family members who passed away.
I'm so sorry.
Almost in like 1 month. I had one family member who passed away. Then the next week, I had another one. Then a week later, another one. Then a week later, after my other one, my mom's dad dies.
I'm so sorry to hear that. It has been such a difficult year. I mean, with COVID, everything changed. I know we were talking a little bit earlier about just how much your school had changed as far as being online, being in school, doing the testing, and you're talking about, the challenges with Wi-Fi and having to turn in your assignments, and then you have family tragedies that you're dealing with. I mean, that's a lot to ask. That's a lot to deal with, no matter who you are. Well, I'm sorry to hear about those family members of yours. We actually also lost some family members as well. So it's been a tough time, that's for sure. But as far as you staying dedicated and staying on top of things, obviously you've been able to stay focused even amid, the difficulties, personally or with school, and become a Student of the Month. And then you had the science fair project, which I think is so cool. So talk a little bit, explain a little bit about your science project.
So my science project was about tennis. And what got me thinking about a tennis science project was I was already thinking of tennis science projects. So it started in November, where our teacher told us that we need to be thinking about a science project because the science fair.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was really a competition at first. I wasn't really expecting to win. So I start out very well.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened was, hold on. What happened? Sorry.
That's okay. It's okay.
I think.
Now, how did you get the idea to measure the height of the bounce of tennis balls and how the bounce was affected by the temperature of the ball? How did you get that idea?
I looked up the tennis idea. I looked up the website, and this idea really, really got my attention.
Uh-huh.
And when it got my attention, I was like, I need to do this project. And it was very special. It's about and it was a tennis thing, and
It's okay.
sorry for the music. But then I told my parents about it. I wrote it down on my not wrote it down.
Uh-oh.
I didn't write it down on my paper. I had like a document where I had to put it in. And Grandma has slowed us down.
Uh-oh. Are we having a technical difficulty? Uh-oh.
I'm gonna exit.
Are we still good? Are y'all still?
I'm still here.
What time is your appointment? I mean, if you're needing to go, we can reschedule. I mean,
No, because we're leaving town. So go ahead. My mom pulled up behind me, so that's.
oh, okay. Oh, no, that's fine. Okay. Okay. So James, you said that you had some tennis balls and you froze them, like you put them in the freezer. Like, how did you get the different temperatures to work for your experiment?
So what I did was, we had, just like you said, we had 3 balls in the freezer. We put them in a bag and then we put them in the freezer. And then we had a bag and we put the heating pads on. So when we had the heating pads, we used like an old t-shirt, because like if we didn't have the balls in the t-shirt, then the balls would probably like burn up.
Okay.
And we did not want that to happen.
Right.
So then after hours, when I got back from I think we were still online. Yeah, we were online in January. We went to the tennis court to where my teammates were waiting for. And that's when the whole experiment started.
Okay.
So, also Coach Eccles was there to investigate, and he was very, very pleased with what's going on in the assignment.
Right, let's bring Coach Eccles in for a minute here, Coach. So how this is a pretty cool project for James to want to do a science project that's based on tennis, because he's so into tennis, and you're his coach. And so what was this like? That sounds pretty cool.
It well, it came about basically when we were out practicing. So he was curious as to, Coach, the ball's not bouncing as crisp as it normally bounces. And I said, it's because it's cold outside. They bounce different, And as you know, we try to explain that to the kids when we have these tournaments, when they're not doing their best because their ball's not bouncing correctly. So lo and behold, he called me one day and said, we want to do a science project. And of course, came to the court, had the balls that were temperature had been decreased tremendously, and balls that were warm, and we had a thermometer that we measured temperature in each one of them.
Oh, so wow, okay.
We actually dropped the balls bounced so high, measured it. That was the warm balls. Then we did the same with the cold balls. And of course, the cold ones did not bounce as high.
Right.
Thereby explaining, and it brought him to fruition like, hey, oh, okay, now I have to change my timing on my swing. Of course.
That's right. Yep.
So pretty much, that's pretty much how it came about, and pretty much how it actually happened. And he learned something from it. Jemai, Nigel, myself, Mom, Jeffrey, all of us, we learned something at that moment.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, I love that you did the project, and that you got Coach involved with it, James. And then so not only was it really cool for you and the program and the coaches and other players that you're working with, but you won, right? Your project got the attention of some of the committee there.
Yes, ma'am. Like, you talking about the tennis committee, or you talking about the science people?
The science.
Oh, the science fair people.
Oh, yeah. And then we went to the UAB one,
It's regional.
regional one, and then we were preparing for the state one.
All
And
right.
at the start of my 8th grade year, like this is in, I was just thinking to be just try to get through this year because we had COVID going on, we had all these other things going on, we had like I wasn't expecting to have a lot of great things happening.
Mm-hmm.
So first, it started off with me doing great in math.
Okay.
So my teachers recommended for me to go to another class, which is 8B, where most of the smart people are, and
Right.
most of the
Everybody at James's school is in a magnet program, so they're all smart.
I believe that. Yep. And
But
that's WJ Christian, is that right?
Yes. But
Okay.
anyway, go.
and they wanted me to go. Well, my teacher called my mom, but you might want to explain to mom.
I'm driving.
So mom got a call from my teacher, and the reason why this is something different was because not just that, but even though teachers call parents a lot to see how good their students are, but the teacher, my math teacher, recommended for me to switch classes because she wanted to work with me more.
That's really cool.
But it was because of I was out of standard, not out of standard. I was at 8B level. So 8B level was that they were high, they were near 96%. And I was at that level where they were. So she wanted me to go to 8B, including some of my other teachers recommended it too. But then I kind of refused.
That is a really cool opportunity. I mean, it's great that they recognized in you something that you were achieving at a higher level, and to have the opportunity to even go farther is super exciting. So congratulations, for that, and choosing to go with that, because it's choosing a little bit more challenging path. But that is really great.
Well, he has more about the math.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Tell us more.
Get to it.
But I will get to it. So
okay.
Then, I get A honor roll, not A B.
Mm-hmm.
Straight A's.
Wow.
So and it was because I had in the first month I kind of struggled a little bit but then I kind of get back to the groove. And that's when I got all A's. I was the only one in my class to get all A's.
Tell her about the math tournament.
Okay. And I I was the only one at AA to get all A's. So then
that's a huge achievement. It really is. Especially amid all of the extra challenges that 2020 brought with it. So, super congratulations to you to achieve at such a high level, even when there were a lot of other challenges going on. So I commend you.
Well, mom, maybe mom should, but don't show me my picture. Maybe mom should take over the story.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So James did not want to move to the other homeroom. So he ended up, his dad and I made him agree that if he did not move to the other homeroom, that anything his math teacher asked him to do, he would have to do. Okay. So James began tutoring his peers, and actually they call it, what is it called? Not extra learning. What is the session called where you can get extra help?
Intervention.
Okay, so James actually had his own intervention group.
Okay, wow.
So he had a group of students that he tutored in the intervention group. And then he was invited to join the math team.
Oh, okay.
So the math team recently won the state championship for perennial math.
That is pretty awesome. So James, you're a state champion in math?
Yes,
yes. And then
that's awesome.
They came in the top 10 in the national competition.
Whoa. Okay, that is a big deal, for real. Like, that's a really big deal. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So he really excelled in both math and science, and won competitions. And so I just wanted to make sure that he also told you about math.
No, thank you so much. No, that is so important. And I just got to tell you, James, I'm so impressed. I mean, to be able to have that dedication and to be able to focus, like I said, it's been not the easiest time, and you are excelling, in school with math and science. And then I want to bring Coach Eccles back in because you're doing really well with your tennis too. So you're on a junior team tennis team right now, is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so are y'all in the spring season still, or are you going to summer season? Is it switching? I'm not sure exactly where those seasons are.
Well,
Right.
I don't know when. Oh, you can go ahead, Coach.
Right now, what we have is a junior tournament team.
Okay.
We're not doing the junior team tennis competition, and doing a few teams out there, so enough to really get out there and be competitive. But anyway, we put together a tournament team.
Oh, cool. Okay.
They played a level 6, level 5 tournament. Any tournaments that's here in state. They played Lake Cyrus, Greystone, Y, a few others, and about 7 of them. So they're very competitive, and it's similar to the junior team tennis. Difference is they're playing actually in tournaments.
Right.
So that's how we prepare now. We practice for tournaments. We have match play whenever we come together and have practice, and a grueling session, cooling down, and then the study of the game also. So he's doing very well in that. He has an awesome backhand. And one of our foremost leaders. Talk about energized, no matter what is going on, whether or not everything is caving in on us. He's the one that's the motivator out there. So I'm proud of him in many, many ways.
Well, Coach Eccles, thank you so much for bringing that up, because, and you and I have talked about this, so you know how I feel about it. But, being a great tennis player is one thing, but being a young athlete of good character and exemplifying that leadership, is quite another. So when you have a special young man like James, and you're excelling at school and you're doing well in your tennis, but you're also giving back, whether it's through the math program where you're tutoring other kids, or you're the motivator at practice of the group. I mean, that tells me a lot just about your character and what a leader you are, whether it's on the tennis court or at school. And so, James, I just thank you for that. That is really great. Thank you. No, so thank you for sharing that with us, Coach. So James, Coach said you have a good backhand.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your favorite shot, or what would be your favorite shot?
I gotta say, I'll kind of say forehand, but I do love my backhand.
I like to see you slice.
Okay.
The forehand slice.
Nice. Use that as a little approach shot. Give a little chip come in behind it. How about your serve? What are you working on? Anything particular with your serve?
Yes, ma'am.
What are you working on?
I'm working on all the serve.
Like different spins, or what do you do differently between your first serve and your second serve?
Well, my first serve is like very hard, and my second serve is usually not that really hard, but like it's hard, but not really like smooth. There's hard, smooth. I mean, not hard, smooth. Smooth, hard, and hard, hard. Like hard would be like first serve, and second serve would be like smooth, hard. But there's sometimes where people have smooth, hard for their first serve.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's pretty normal to go for a little more on your first serve because you have that second serve, kind of as it's in reserve out there. So you can go for a little more with that first serve, hit it harder if that's what you're looking for, like a hard flat or slice, or and then add a little more spin, take a little pace off, add a little more spin for the second. It sounds like you're working towards something a little bit like that.
He is. That's it in a nutshell. That is it.
That's what it sounds like, and that's that is exactly the fundamental thing. And I know your coach is a great coach and is always going to be pushing those fundamentals in your game. So we have to give a little bit of a shout out to your coach there, because not only are you just a wonderful young man, but you've also got some good coaching too, which is important. So I think it's cool.
Can I say more?
Yeah, of course.
Can I say more about his coach?
Yeah.
Well, the entire coaching staff, I mean, we are like family members. They treat James like he is one of their own children, and the younger coaches treat him like a younger brother. And they are concerned not only about when he's playing tennis, but Coach Eccles and Coach Lewis call us just to ask about personal things. We communicate with Coach Eccles almost every day. I think that's just mom calling and worrying him to death. But James has he's had a couple of injuries, and Coach has followed up each time something has happened. He's following James's rehabilitation program. When we had the Coach Eccles called us on a regular basis. I had to go out of town a few times to take care of issues related to my father's passing, and Coach Eccles took James to a tournament. And if we were going to be late because my mother was also ill, and so we had one less person helping us get him to and from tennis practice. So Coach Eccles and his whole family made sure James got to where he needed to go, or they would wait around until one of us could get there. And it's just a family situation. And
that just warms my heart to hear that. I mean, because the best scenario that I can think of for an athlete to grow is when you have a coach and a staff and a team, and the family that all care, and when everybody has the same goal, and the goal is usually set by the athletes, that would be you, James, and then everybody is working towards your goal, what you've decided you want to do. When everybody can be on the same page and there's that level of caring and communication, and like you were saying, Bettina, like it feels like family, that is a really unique and special thing. I want to come play in your program. Can I come play?
Well, James has included being a coach on his career plan.
Okay.
Because of the role models that he has had. He understands what it means to be a coach. And actually, in 6th grade at WJ Christian, he participated in the school participated for the first time in a skills competition for middle school. And James actually helped to coach the other PE classes and worked along with the coach that was working with him at school. And so he learned those skills at George Ward. And he learned those skills.
I think that is just fabulous, because there's nothing like kind of turning the tables there. Like if obviously you know how to hit a forehand and a backhand, but then when you try to explain it to somebody else, you got to think about it a little differently. And so it makes you a better coach in that regard, but it also makes you a better player because you think about the mechanics of the stroke a little bit. Because when you're just hitting, you can go, well, this is just how I hit my forehand. But then if you're going to try to tell somebody else how to do it, you got to kind of break it down in your mind a little bit and go, oh, well, we do this. Yeah. Okay. Well, y'all might know this already, but there you can get a degree in professional tennis management. I think there are 9 schools right now, colleges and universities, that offer PTM as a degree. And it's a really fantastic program because each summer you get a paid internship at a club somewhere in the country. And so you get to, go see other places, and you get a paid internship under some great coaches, qualified through the program. And you get to play college tennis there, if that's part of it. But yeah, that PTM degree, I'll get with Coach Eccles and your mom and you, and we'll all have to talk a little bit more about that if you're interested in pursuing the coaching degree, because it is part of a business degree as well. But yeah, that's a whole aside. Sorry about that.
No,
James was accepted to the Duke Tip program because of his math scores in the 5th grade. He scored in the 99th percentile, and James likes, the predictions of for other sports, like who's going to be in the national championship or rankings and ratings. And so there was a class this summer through Duke for sports analysis, and I've been looking for something specific for tennis. Even though he likes other sports, he likes watching other sports.
Sure.
But I would love for him to be in some type of sports analysis program for tennis.
Well, Bettina, I can help with that too. I can get you connected with some folks I know that are in like sports statistics and those kinds of things. Yeah, but all this is so exciting, James. So I know we're running short on time now, but I'm just so glad that I got to talk to you and your mom and your coach. And I'm so proud of you, and you make Alabama proud. You represent Alabama well. So thank you for what you're doing. Thank you for being a leader. And yeah, and I look forward. Go ahead, Bettina.
I just said he's so humble.
We got to brag on him, right? Yeah. No, well, I wish you all success in the future, and hopefully I'll get to see you play in person sometime soon. And Coach Eccles, I hope to see you in person sometime soon too. I've missed you.
All right. I miss you all.
All right.
Thank you for accommodating our busy schedule.
Oh, sure, of course. No, thank you for taking the time to do this. Yeah. No, this has been great. Well, y'all enjoy the rest of your afternoon, and I will talk to you soon.
Okay.
Take care.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.